Hello dear listener, please subscribe to our channel. Enjoy watching. You know that feeling when everything is fine, right? You wake up next to the person you love, make your coffee together, and feel like you have it all. You believe that the life you've built is solid, unshakable. At least, that's what I thought. That's what I believed about my marriage with Emily. But, man, was I wrong. Let me rewind a little. My name's Ben. I'm a regular guy. Nothing fancy. I'm not a millionaire, I don't have a luxury car, but I've got a decent job as a manager at a marketing firm. I'm smart, I work hard, and I've always been pretty good at reading people. Emily and I met right after college, both of us still figuring out what the hell we were doing with our lives. But we hit it off. She was beautiful, like, model beautiful, and clever, with this quick wit that made me laugh constantly. We started dating, and within a couple of years, we were living together. A year after that, we got married. Classic story, right? The perfect couple. You know, the ones you see at dinner parties who seem like they have everything figured out. And for a while, I guess we did. We traveled, we had fun, we'd laugh at the little things. Life was good. But I started noticing little changes. She was always a bit of a workaholic, but over time, it got worse. She'd be late coming home, or she'd cancel plans at the last minute, telling me she had to work late or that a last-minute meeting came up. At first, I didn't think much of it. I mean, we're all busy, right? Then came the nights where I'd wake up, roll over, and she wouldn't be there. Not a text, not a call, nothing. She'd come home in the morning like it was no big deal. Just, sorry, I was at a client dinner. You know how it is. Yeah, I knew how it was. Or at least, I thought I did. Then there was the weird stuff. I remember one time, I was sitting on the couch, scrolling through my phone, when I saw her phone on the counter. It buzzed. And I don't know why, but something told me to look at it. So, I did. Normally, I don't snoop, but I was just curious. The text was from a name I didn't recognize. Asterisk, can't wait to see you tonight. I love you. Asterisk, I don't even know how to explain what that felt like. It was like the ground beneath me shifted. My heart stopped, but my mind was racing. I just stood there, staring at the screen, my stomach in knots. I didn't know what to do with that information. So, I did what any normal guy would do. I closed her phone and pretended I hadn't seen anything. But I had seen something. And it wouldn't leave my mind. That night, I waited. Emily came home around midnight, like usual. I didn't say anything. I just let her go to bed. But I couldn't sleep. Not after that. I tossed and turned, thinking about what I'd read. About who she was texting. Who the hell was she telling I love you? And why didn't she ever say that to me? The next few days, I couldn't get my mind off of it. I started watching her more closely. I noticed how she would always take her phone with her, even when she went to the bathroom. And there was this guy, David, this so-called business partner of hers, who I'd never met. He was the one she kept talking about. I need to meet with David about the presentation. David has this great new idea for the campaign. Over and over, it was always David this, David that. But she never really talked about him. It was all business. Still, the guy kept popping up more and more. Too much, really. I had to find out what was going on. So, I started following her. Not in a creepy way, just enough to know what was happening. One night, I tracked her to this upscale bar in the city. I parked across the street and waited. And then, I saw it. Emily and David, laughing, sitting close to each other at the bar. Too close. My stomach dropped. They were more than just business partners. They were involved. I could see it in the way they looked at each other, the way they touched each other's arms when they laughed. It was like a punch to the gut. All that time, I had been blind to it. They were having an affair. And I had been living a lie. I didn't confront her that night. No, I was smarter than that. I had to figure out how to deal with it, how to take back control. Because I wasn't just going to let her get away with it. Not after everything we'd built. I needed revenge. And I wasn't just going to destroy her. I was going to destroy them, her and that smug bastard, David. So, I made a plan. And let me tell you, it was a good one. First, I started acting like nothing was wrong. I kept the house warm, I played the role of the loving husband. I'd bring her flowers, take her out to dinner, play it like everything was perfect. She ate it up. The guilt started building, I could see it in her eyes. She'd start overcompensating, checking in more often, telling me she loved me, being extra affectionate. But I could see the cracks. And I knew it was only a matter of time before I made my move. I began to use her ego against her. I knew Emily loved attention, validation. She was all about her image. Who didn't love a beautiful, successful woman with a perfect husband? So, I started feeding that. I hired a photographer. Nothing too crazy, just a professional with a great eye for candid shots. I'd take Emily out for walks in the park or to fancy cafes, and every so often, I'd make sure the photographer was there, snapping pictures of us. Pictures I'd later send to Emily's closest friends, her colleagues. Shots of us looking all perfect and happy. But here's where the real fun began. I started leaking rumors. Small ones, subtle ones. At work, at parties. Did you hear about Emily's husband? I heard he's been really suspicious lately, like he's onto something. I played it like I was a man on the edge, someone who'd been pushed too far. Meanwhile, I had been digging into David's life. Turns out, this guy wasn't just some innocent businessman. He had a reputation, a pretty ugly one. A few well-placed phone calls, some anonymous tips, and I had a bombshell to drop on him. I made sure a few of his high-profile clients heard about his affair with Emily. It didn't take long for the whispers to spread. The pressure was building. And Emily was starting to crack. She came to me one night, tears in her eyes. She said she was sorry, that she didn't know why she did it, that she loved me. But I wasn't buying it anymore. I looked at her and said, "You know, I've been thinking about what you've done. And I'm not going to let you get away with it. But I have a plan. And it's going to be worse than anything you've ever imagined." That's when the real revenge hit. I'd already set everything in motion. I had a friend in IT, and he helped me access her emails, her texts. I gathered evidence, enough to destroy both her and David. And then, I sent it all to everyone. Her friends, her boss, her family. Everything. The texts, the emails, the photos of her and David at that bar. I made sure to drop in the juicy details, the hotel rooms, the private dinners, the promises they made to each other. But that wasn't enough. I still had one final move to make. I took the evidence to David's wife. I know. It sounds cold, but you have no idea how sweet it felt to watch David's entire life come crashing down. He lost his job, his wife, his reputation. He was outed for what he truly was, just another scumbag trying to get away with being a piece of shit. But Emily? She was even worse. Her career? Gone. Her friends? Gone. Her perfect image? Shattered. I didn't just make them regret it. I made them pay for it. And me? I walked away. No more games, no more lies. I took my life back. It's funny how things work out, isn't it? You spend years building something, thinking it's unbreakable. But all it takes is a few cracks, a few lies, and it's gone. You never see it coming. But when it hits, you better be ready. Because revenge is a dish best served cold. And trust me, it was worth the wait. If you leave a comment, tell us what you think about the story you heard. It's important to us and will help us find and tell stories that you find interesting. Thank you for watching us.